today. Have you watched this week's ChillPoint? That would be a trick because it isn't online yet. This is ChillPoint. In fact, we recorded it like 45 minutes ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I've barely seen this week's checkpoint.
I was just excited we were able to get in and out of the lunch place fast enough because when we got there, the line was out the door.
Yeah.
It was really awkward that we had to record that one story in line.
Yeah. As I think we said on the social medias and stuff that this week's episode of ChillPoint we had to record today rather than yesterday for various logistical reasons.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
If you watch this later on ChillPoint later on YouTube, the checkpoint episode will go up on YouTube before this ChillPoint episode.
it's true.
So you're watching in the wrong order, but it's not your fault.
Except that maybe you are watching it in the right order now, because if you're watching the chill point before that checkpoint, even on YouTube, you're getting it in the order that everybody else. You're getting broadcast order, which is like that way you're watching it the same way everybody else did.
It's true.
Except you're not, because Twitch is broadcast order.
Right.
Twitch first, and then...
But then you're watching this because this came before checkpoint.
Man, this is like that whole problem where you have to watch like Buffy and Angel in a
Yes.
weird interleaved way.
That's why I gave up. Yeah.
Watch the first half of this episode of ChillPoint, then watch ChillPoint, then watch it's the machete order. Anyway, hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to ChillPoint, the show where we talk about the week's video game news, as well as the episode of ChillPoint normally. In this case, we're just going to talk about the week's gaming news. Some of these stories will make it into the ChillPoint, some of them won't. See if you can guess which are which.
Yeah, fun new game. You get to guess which of these stories ends up in Checkpoint.
I'm going to...
Unless you watch Checkpoint already because you're on YouTube, and then I guess this game doesn't work for you.
You've ruined the game.
Yeah. I don't know if it will be immediately obvious to everybody watching or not, but I'm probably going to be stretching a lot and maybe yawning occasionally, not because I am bored with my co-hosts, but because I all of a sudden feel incredibly tired. And I was like, no, I'll go get lunch and we'll have lunch and it'll be good. And I'll have some food and I'll have something to drink. And my body's like, yes. And now you should go to sleep. And I'm like, no, you can do that. You only need to be up for about 3 hours doing this. You'll be fine.
All right, okay.
Sleepy Beach.
So, new drinking game for those of you who are watching later. I can't participate in that earlier game that we talked about with guessing because you watched in the wrong order. Drink every time B. John's.
Yeah. If I fall asleep, you can chug when I start to snore.
If he falls asleep, you're going to have to hit him, Paul.
All right.
He's too far away, and I don't want to get up and do it. That's awkward.
Okay, that's fair. So let's go through some of the stories that thought were interesting this week, starting with Fortnite. Always the source of many wonderful checkpoint stories. In this case, the problem isn't people playing Fortnite. The problem is people, or the issue is people not playing or not being able to play Fortnite because they got banned.
It was the problem with people playing Fortnite.
I guess they originally were the problem.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say it's the problem is people aren't playing Fortnite, and I was going to say, is that really a problem?
It's funny because this stems from Fortnite has a mode called Delulu. And it's has a feature called proximity voice chat.
Why is it called Delulu?
Because that's a new slang term that Gen Alpha has come up with.
Doesn't it mean delusional?
Yes.
Isn't that just rude?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I don't know why. Because this mode makes it so you can play. It's a proximity chat.
Yeah.
So you can run around. 100 players. You can run around, but then you can get close to other players and proximity chat and like sort of make an ad hoc group.
Right.
Is the idea.
Okay.
Again, I don't know why that's called Delulu. Maybe somebody who plays.
So that's the idea.
Yeah.
What's the reality? What's actually happening?
So the problem is, surprise, with this proximity chat and people kind of getting together and stuff, has caused a lot of toxicity.
Oh no. In Fortnite?
Yeah.
in Fortnite.
Just with a bunch of randos trying to have a conversation, not having a conversation, just a bunch of randos being cruel to each other.
And
Right.
and also that you can kind of that because like normally when you play like 100-player Fortnite, there isn't just like 100-player team speak.
Right.
Everybody can just hear everybody else.
It'd be terrifying.
But, yeah, like that's not usually a thing. But so normally you aren't really talking to people in Fortnite.
Right.
You might be like typing stuff or whatever. But I guess if you're not playing mobile, but now you can like either you're like joining a group and then either somebody does badly or you do badly or people are being toxic to each other, or you're just like, I think if you just like get near other people,
They can hear you talk.
they can hear you talk, and so you can like be trash talking them while you're shooting them or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
That
Which
seems like the use case of what these things would actually do. Yeah.
Yeah.
obviously results in some rather unfortunate language and different things. So there's been a big a ban wave.
I don't like this subhead that they put in MSN has put this in the article where they talk about Fortnite banning thousands of players for abusing proximity chat feature, but the subhead they have is Fortnite players banned for abusing proximity voice chat. I'm like, no. They're not abusing the proximity. They're being abusive on proximity voice chat. Like we knew that obviously proximity voice chat would just lead to widespread abuse. No matter where you put it, that's just always what's going to happen. Give people pseudonymity, and they're just going to be shitty to each other. Like every other gaming company in the world has kind of figured this out. And so for Fortnite to say, we're going to allow just free yelling at each other, I'm like, that you put a feature in, it was a bad idea, but really it's the people playing the game that are demonstrating it's a bad idea.
And
Yeah.
and of course you have issues with like situations where like when somebody speaks, then of course if they are perceived to be if they're perceived to be younger, or if they're perceived to be have a female sounding voice,
Yes.
or various other reasons why that, then they people will actually start targeting, be like, hey, let's go kill that person or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That person's different. Let's
Yeah.
kill them.
Oh, that guy sounds like an old man. Let's go after him. That guy does not sound as young as he sounds. Too old to play Fortnite, but not too old to stream Fortnite.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that Fortnite should have a voice changer
I mean, that would be
installed
cool.
inside of it.
Yeah, and everybody has to sound like Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. No, straight
I've
across.
seen-
You don't get control over this voice changer, and everyone sounds exactly the same. And that way, that will definitely not make anything confusing at all.
I've seen like legitimately experiments in, one of the things that AI can do that is maybe one of the less terrible things that AI can do
Yeah.
is some of the like voice recognition, text to speech, speech to text
Right.
stuff. And I've seen that in this context, right, where in being used, especially not in like Fortnite or whatever, but like in more like MMO style games, where so it's not at that point it's not even like a voice changer. It is literally you speak, it recognizes it, puts it into text, and then it translates that, and then it takes that text and says it.
Right.
So it's not connected to your voice at all at that point. And you'd be like, if you are whoever you are and you want to be portraying, a night elf or
Yes.
whatever, or if you want to be portraying an ogre or a troll or whatever, you can you will be able to sound however is appropriate for that creature.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool. Like that's a neat idea.
That's a cool idea.
And it does sort of democratize that to a certain extent. So I think that's kind of a cool idea.
I think that they should.
That's not what they're doing here, by the way. But
They should also, but they should bundle into this a thing that if you use the proximity voice chat, like anything that you say into the system, they should then be transcribing that, right? Like also have speech to text to be like, well, then you could just have text show up on people's screen, or you could also say, well, anything that you say into the voice chat, we're just gonna immediately mail to the owner of the credit card that you're using to buy all your V-Bucks. We'll just do that. That
Just constantly email
whatever you say, every time you're in a game playing something, at the end of the game, it'll just basically email that off to whoever it is that holds the credit card, and that might solve some of those issues.
Wait, no, that's just brilliant. It's a built-in swear jar.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that'd be good too. Every time you curse,
Every time
it charges you V-Bucks.
every time you curse, every time you and if you do like, and I mean, still get banned for like really high offenses, but yeah, I think you should get a swear jar.
It's literally the thing from like Demolition Man, where it's like, "Bzz, you have been fined, you've been fined 5 credits for the violating the noise ordinance.
Yeah. Then they can put the 3 seashells in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's reasons why that doesn't actually work. Before anyone gets in the comments about how real world should work that way or how that would get abused. Yes, it's a joke. Get over it.
Or how about like every time, with the voice changer thing, like every time you get like a negative report, like every time somebody reports you as being toxic, your voice in the game gets like changed until it's more and more like
It just becomes the trumpets from Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
You think you're yelling like terrible slurs that you've just made up, and the other side's just hearing.
I don't know. I feel like if you want to go that way, if it can change your voice to sound like something else, if you're clearly going after and being abusive towards people with feminine sound voices, guess what your voice gets to be now?
Ah, right. If it can find a commonality between all the things, your abuse.
It analyzes everybody's voice in the game, and it comes up with a single patch that makes everybody sound like the exact same person.
Yeah.
So when you play the game, you all sound like an amalgamation of 100 different people in one voice.
Everybody sounds like Ronald Reagan from Futurama.
One voice.
You have no idea who you're talking to because they all sound the same. I like that. That's really good. You could screw that up because you could go and you could be like, "Hi guys, hi, I'm here to play a game," and just everybody does high pitched squeaky voices in the lobby.
I think we've come up with a whole bunch of really great solutions to this problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's our big thing is solutioneering here on ChillPoint.
No, it's not.
In other multiplayer.
Did you want to talk about the other Fortnite news though?
What was the other Fortnite news?
Daft Punk.
Right.
I
forgot that was also Fortnite.
Yes.
Because of course Fortnite has many different things.
They put Daft Punk in. I'm assuming the rhythm game section.
In different parts of it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Daft Punk is going to be.
It's not a concert.
They're doing a Fortnite X Daft Punk collaboration.
Yeah. An interactive music experience.
Part of that, people were a little confused because Daft Punk is technically broken up right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened, but apparently they didn't. They've broken up, and they're not. This is officially like this is. They had to explicitly say this is not them getting back together.
No.
I guess you would have to point that out too.
They're not doing like a concert. They're doing that. Yeah, there's this interactive experience where you can be. I think there's like skins of the Daft Punk guys with their helmets and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's also like you can sort of recreate. There's like the like around the world music video. With all the people like walking in a circle and stuff. I think you can like recreate that. And I think, like you said, the Fortnite Festival or whatever it's called.
Festival, and then there's
the
like
rhythm thing.
There's a different one too, but Festival is I think the one that people really like.
They're baking a portion of this also into Lego Fortnite as well. So yeah.
So does this mean I can run around as Daft Punk and shoot people?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I was unsure about whether it was you could just put the helmet on and run around, but it looks like there's a lot of different costumes to go with the helmets. So yeah.
Okay.
That is a thing. It is an interactive music experience in which you get to interactive with the Daft Punk music and have an experience.
But yes, in other battle royale news,
Oh no, Paul.
there was a leaked this is one of these funny things where it's like there's a leaked trailer for PUBG Mobile.
Okay.
Okay.
And people are like, and you're like, oh, well, it was a leaked trailer, so maybe this isn't real. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
In the leaked trailer is, well, wait.
You just going to show us?
I was going to say, I'm not sure whether, is this working? Haha, it is. It is Sonic. This is PUBG, by the way.
I thought PUBG was the more serious one.
This is Sonic versus Skibbity Toilet, which is just a sentence.
Yep.
With a bunch of other stuff.
Again, I thought PUBG was the more serious one, as
Correct.
in it didn't do the stuff that Fortnite did where it just grabbed every single thing on the planet.
In my brain, like when I was thinking about introducing this story, I 100% thought it was a segue from the other Fortnite story. I was like, in other Fortnite news, and then I looked it up. I was like, wait a minute, no, that's PUBG news.
I think PUBG's whole thing is that it's just not a cartoony looking thing.
The mobile version is more
ridiculous.
Ridiculous than the. So this was posted, and again, like when I saw it, I was like, okay, whatever. People just made a stupid thing of.
This would be a great trailer for an April Fool's Day thing.
Exactly. It's like this isn't a real thing, but, and I don't think this has actually been confirmed yet, but the Skibbity Toilet characters and Sonic have both been announced for PUBG Mobile. So it's actually it's not actually that big a stretch.
Right. So this could be real. Because the characters have announced to be a thing. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes. They were already announced to be coming to. So, yeah. Anyway, Sonic versus Skibbity Toilet in PUBG is like a headline that needs to be sent back, 25 years to confuse people.
Yeah. Finding a giant. So wait, it's like a man in a toilet? No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, this is a problem with time travel. It's like this is the kind of thing you want to like send back in time to be like, can you believe the world that you're going to end up living in? But unfortunately, you still have to explain to them what Skibbity Toilet is.
The thing is, if it went,
they'll at least know what Sonic is.
But, what if it's a grandfather paradox? And
I don't
that's
think
what made Skibbity Toilet.
Was PUBG even around that long ago?
I think that if I went back,
it's like 15 years.
If that
you said 25 years.
No, they wouldn't even know what PUBG was. Yeah, 25 years is like Sonic.
I feel like if I went back in time with that information, and tried to tell a younger version of myself about this, I mean, he wouldn't really care. But also, though, he'd be like,
that's, you could send one message back and that was what you said back.
But it would also be the thing about like, so wait, explain to me what the Skibbity Toilet is. Well, it's a web series that's based on stuff from Gary's Mod, that's based on stuff from Counter-Strike, and I'm like,
it's a man's head in a toilet.
And I've been like, Counter-Strike? Like that, people still play Counter-Strike? Like 15 years, 25 years in the future, like they're still playing Counter-Strike? It's like
it's like let's not get bugged.
There's
a lot of stuff we gotta cover here.
Like I didn't play Counter-Strike, but it's like people still playing. I wouldn't know what it is.
I would have been excited by the way that Sonic looks if there was like visuals to go with this. I would have at that age I would have found a man coming out of a toilet pretty funny.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't get it, but I'd have found it funny.
I don't think there's that much to get in the Skibbity Toilet. Like it's like a guy coming out of the toilet.
There is a lot of episodes, and because I'm not familiar with this thing, I do not want to say if there's a lot to get or not, because there could be some really deep plunger lore in that toilet for all I know, and I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Yeah. So I don't want to pretend that.
I think it's just
not.
Men's head coming out of toilet making funny faces is funny. I think that's all you need to know. Or at least that's how it started. Where it is now, I don't know.
Again, I with that many episodes, you generally have more than one joke.
If I was going to go back in time to do that, I would also go back in time into 1997 to like September 1997 and catch myself at the U of A, because I would have been like, okay, cool. I've told you everything you need to know about the future. I'm going to be at Dinwiddie Lounge watching the Tragically Hip play a concert. You're not going to go to that, and I know that's fine, but I'm going to go to that because I should have gone to it, and now I'm back to do that. But you should not, because otherwise you'll upset the future.
Maybe, yeah. I think if I had the ability to go back in time, I'd maybe go check out those concerts that I was not allowed to go to.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a pretty fun way to go.
Speaking of things that you're not allowed to do, buying things from PlayStation.
No, I'm pretty
Sony.
sure if I give them money, they'll let me give them money.
You'd think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
And yet, here we are.
The forbidden merch.
So starting with Ghosts of Tsushima, the Sony is doing a new thing called
Franchise rewards.
Franchise rewards. That's it. And basically, it's something that we've made fun of Bungie for before. And basically, the idea is, Sony has had like trophies and stuff forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so basically, they're setting up this system where you have to get a certain in-game trophy before you get and that gives you a ticket, which allows you to buy a piece of merchandise.
Yes.
You don't get a discount on the merchandise.
No.
You still have to buy the merchandise, but it allows you to buy the merchandise.
Didn't Destiny do some of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Destiny has done this previously.
Usually it's usually like
year one.
Usually it's you've completed a bunch of like the year tasks, and so you get like a special thing.
It's like you can buy the jacket.
There was a jacket with like your name on it or something.
So you can get T-shirts, the year one T-shirts that have your name printed on the sleeve underneath one of the logos, right? And I think it's with your emblem too. So if you're like a Titan or Warlock or Skibbity Doo, like I know what the fuck all the things are, but whatever your class is, you got your call sign silk screened on there. And it very much like, this is all direct to print kind of, or direct to film or whatever you want to call it. But it is that's what I think is different about that versus this, because the way they pitch this is you can buy the T-shirt for the Mono no Aware trophy, which is the one you get for, I think, finishing the game at a base level for Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, so you don't have to platinum the game at least. It's just finishing it.
And you don't get... But like you don't get it, like is it? You don't get it customized or anything fancy.
I don't think you do. They didn't announce anything about customizing it to kind of be like it's yours and has your name on it. Like it's all you just get a set T-shirt. I'm like, that's where the Destiny thing wins.
I do want to know, like, is this trophy you got an ending in the game?
You get the gold trophy for finishing the game.
Right.
There is also a platinum trophy.
Yeah, for finishing the game.
And
platinums you've done all of the trophies.
Yes.
Cool.
So in order, and there is also a commemorative pin that you need to have the platinum trophy in order to get the pin.
Yeah. See, I know Beach doesn't do the PlayStation stuff, but generally the platinum trophy in a set of trophy achievements is you've done all the other achievements.
Right. Okay.
Which is why I ask if the other one is for specifically finishing the game, because if the whole point is, hey, I finished the game, I got the T-shirt, I can prove in the real world I finished the game because I have the T-shirt, versus I absolutely did everything in the game, so I have the whatever thing.
And I think it's cool to have commemorative merchandise that ties into that kind of thing. I also, though, recognize that, because things can be two things at once. Yes. It can be really neat to be like, I have a piece of merchandise that shows off that I did the thing that you're only allowed to get if you've done the thing. I also think it feels weirdly crass that it is mass produced. It's not tailored to you specifically.
Right.
Like if I like the guy who like the first one to ever finish Impossible Iron Man on XCOM got like a trophy from Firaxis that had their name on it or whatever.
Sure.
And it was kind of like when those kind of things happen, I'm like, yeah, when you do like an ultimate achievement in a game and it means that you can have like a physical item, whether it's presented to you for free or whether you have to put some money up to get it or whether it's like shipping and handling or whatever, there is just a feeling I get where I'm like, I don't like the idea of you get a thing that everybody else gets. Yours is no different than anyone else who does the same thing. And you are also then having to put money up to do it, especially when you put money up to win the game in the first place, like to buy the game in the first place.
Right.
So I feel awkward about it.
And
that's fair.
Although, and as Laserbeak's Fury in the chat, of course, what you would really want is the T-shirt that says, "I got platinum in Ghost of Tsushima, and all I got was this lousy shirt."
Yeah, that's true.
They should definitely put that.
Now, Ghost of Tsushima came out a couple years ago now.
Yes.
So, and you have until I think December to get these achievements in order to qualify, because usually they do have to put a date on these. That does mean that they can tell from people who've already played kind of how many of these shirts they already have to produce.
That's true.
That's true.
Because it's not like the game came out last week and they're like, hey, if you beat it by December, you can get a T-shirt.
And I will be interested to see...
And Ghost of Yotai is coming out.
And that's the only other game that
in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's the only other game they've confirmed that there will also be these rewards for that game.
Yeah.
The assumption is that it will be for other games as well, but that's the only.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them doing it for other games depending on how well this goes over for them, right? It does kind of, well, there is that capitalism standpoint of you have to do this thing in order to get a special shirt or pin. It does kind of feel like it kind of feels like they're trying to push a motivation to get people to complete a game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always the. I mean, and you're saying like the Bungie's you did this thing, so you are now eligible to give us money. Is always a bit of a hard sell for me.
Yeah,
but I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked the way Destiny did it. I didn't care about Destiny, so it didn't really apply to me. But I did kind of like the idea of, you put so much time into this game, you got a special thing with your name on it.
Yes.
That did seem cool in some respects.
Even though you had to buy the shirt, the fact that it had your call sign on it, I think was really the thing that, like,
I mean, my understanding was that it was in the store at a ludicrous price.
There was some stuff that they had in there like that, yeah.
But
you got a discount code.
You got a discount code for it to be at a more reasonable price. There
was something that they were selling that was like $77,000, but if they gave you the discount code, then you could buy it for $770 or something. Some ridiculous. It was like maybe it was a replica weapon or something like that. But it was like, if you have achieved the thing, we'll give you a 99% off coupon, and then you can use that, and then it lets you get the thing for way cheaper. It was some sort of ridiculous cheap thing that was the
I mean, I kind of find it funny when they do stuff like that, because in the one sense, it's like having a thing in a store. It's making the back end work with the tools you have, but in the other sense, I also like the idea that it's just people who like have, for some reason, an obscene amount of money, billionaires perhaps, who want to pretend that they're good at video games, can just put down a lot of money.
You don't even need to play the game to pretend you're good at video games.
But when would that ever happen? I think it's funny. So WedgeX points out it was $777,000.
Yeah, it was
just
like
all
a
sevens,
really
right?
silly amount.
And I'm like, you could get someone to play the game for you, and like you get someone to play your Destiny raids and everything for you for probably cheaper than that. You could pay someone $100,000 to just be like, I'm going to give you $100,000 for the year to just do this.
I feel like that would be a pretty easy sell for most people.
Yeah, I think you could find someone to just do that for you.
I wonder, it would be funny if I'm sure, but if anybody, like what they would do if somebody actually tried to buy it at full price, they'd be like, we don't have the
This would be a more fun
logistics to accept that much money through our PayPal account or whatever.
I do think this would be a pretty fun. This would seem like a more fun thing if you didn't have to pay. I don't know. I'm assuming like $40 for the T-shirt, but it's like you got the thing and all you have to pay is shipping and handling.
Yeah. Which is how I feel about my Nintendo, right? It's like I do a bunch of tasks that gain me platinum points, whether that's play a game trial, play one of the NSO games. Play an online game, back up my save data, whatever, right? You do those things every week, and then plat builds up over time. And then I trade in 1,800 points plus shipping and handling for a Mario Kart trucker hat on my Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, so you can do that. And I feel like the slow accumulation of stuff over time, especially for things that aren't please 100% this game, leading to you get a cute little special reward for it. There are still things about my Nintendo that, like in terms of quality rewards, that bug me sometimes. But by and large, getting things like the Roost coasters or like the bandanas or the towels and stuff. Sometimes the towels are nice, sometimes they're not.
The towels have been
kind of hit and miss. They have
mid.
some tote bags and stuff, and I'm like, that's all well and good, but I would like to get more into the Pepsi reward state of 8 million points to get a Harrier jet kind of situation of, hey, do you have 45,000 plat or 100,000 plat? However you did that, then you can trade that in to get yourself like a shirt off the store or something. Those kind of.
So that wouldn't work with the platinum
because
they also time out after
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
The gold points were not bad because at least you could get that as a discounted code, but they got rid of those.
Yeah, and that's why I like Club Nintendo.
They're mostly
better.
just like cosmetic stuff now, right?
Yeah, and I mean the Pepsi points, you physically bought product and got points for it, so it's a little bit different than I did a couple of things
exactly
and got freebie points.
Yeah, I mean the thing I liked about Club Nintendo, which they never did properly over on this side of the Pacific, was that Club Nintendo in Japan, at least, when they had rewards, it was like you bought a certain amount of stuff from Nintendo throughout the year, and then we're going to give you something that's really unusual that you cannot buy in a store, but it feels kind of good to get, special games that they had made, or like the Luigi branded GameCube controller, things like that. And it was just they did
something actually unique.
Yeah, unusual.
I mean, we
and something
got
that
a
costs more
couple-
than $50 or $60, and you're just like, that's unusual.
We got a couple years of that here, but not to the same extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that is probably, from a, when you're looking at it from a business standpoint, it's a bit of a hard sell.
Oh, yeah.
It's so we're just going to give people things for free? That doesn't sound like us.
Yeah,
I mean, that always comes out of a promotional marketing budget. And so then you have
various things get, when things start getting cut back or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's the first thing that goes.
And look at the Moon-based Spacelines merch stuff that we made. That it's that stuff was by and large part of us moving to this location, and it was meant to be it's a nominal thing. It's a nominal piece of merch that you are also helping to make Moonbase Mark 6 happen.
Right.
And that's what that represents, is that being a part of that is your involvement in, and then you wear that pin on your lapel to show any other Loading Ready Run person, oh yeah, I participated in helping make that happen. That this is my representation of I was a part of that process. And that's what I like. That's why with the rewards things, I'm like, ultimately, yeah, if you get to wear a unique Ghost of Tsushima t-shirt to a convention and other people know that, they'll be like, oh, there's a guy who finished that game. Or they see the pin on your sleeve and they're like, oh, there's a guy who platted that game. That's interesting. It's a way to advertise your Chivos in real life, obviously.
Yeah.
Now I just kind of want, at PAX or some video game convention, two people wearing the pin, sort of just they don't necessarily talk. They just
nod,
eye each other up. As Samurai would.
They acknowledge each other and be like, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Death Stranding 2 is coming out.
Yes.
Or is out.
It's out.
It's out. And say what you will about Hideo Kojima in terms of as a game director.
Yes.
I personally quite like a lot of his games. Mm-hmm. He has a certain style. Doesn't work for some people. Whatever. Regardless, you cannot fault the guy for being able to get into the news when he wants to be in the news.
Yes.
Well, fame will do that for you. Yes.
Yeah. He's one of these people that just enjoys, shall we say, doing interesting, weird things that get him into the news, like saying that he wants to develop games in space.
Yes.
Yeah, but again, he really only gets into the news because of who he is, because of the fame he has. Lots of people say things like that, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a couple of why I say that is there's a couple of Hideo Kojima stories this week. For one thing, he is partnering with Niantic of previously of Pokemon Go. In this case, Niantic Spatial, which is that is the remains of Niantic that didn't get sold.
Right.
So all the actual like video game parts of Niantic got sold to whoever.
Oh man, when I die, can I get my name changed to Heather Spatial? This is like, no, those are the bones that we're talking about. Those are the leftovers.
We can put this in your will if that's what you want to do.
So yes.
Living edict.
But so all the actual game parts, of Niantic got sold, but then Niantic became Niantic Spatial, and they're concentrating on the actual AR world stuff.
To eventually build some sort of geospatial AI.
That's the theory.
That's the theory.
Anyway, they're working with Hideo Kojima to, quote, turn the world into his canvas.
Yeah.
At Niantic Spatial, we are building a living model of the world that people and machines can talk to, creating a new canvas for real-world storytelling interaction. We are delighted to be working with Kojima Productions to explore what our combined creativity and innovation can accomplish for new and existing fans. And to Niantic, I just wanted to say, have you seen any of Hideo Kojima's games?
Yes.
Why would you want him to be doing anything about creating the world? The world that he depicts in his games is not a world that you want to bring about. It's fun to play a game in.
How do we know he hasn't already been doing it already?
I'm convinced that a lot of people who work in tech don't read enough sci-fi.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or don't understand the things from sci-fi they should be getting.
What I think. So yeah, they're going to work together. And
they haven't announced what the actual thing will be, just that they're working together.
Yeah, Niantic Spatial, not Niantic Labs, but Niantic Spatial operates Ingress and Peridot still. They still operate those two things.
Right, yeah, Peridot was theirs.
Yeah,
specifically.
Niantic Labs, which did the game development stuff like Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom, has moved under the Scopely umbrella. We got that from here, and yeah, it's there's one thing about turning the world is a harsh and beautiful place, right? Things can be two things at once. And
you need them to be, otherwise you don't have the contrasts for it to work.
It's true. So there's, adapting a fun, cartoonish world over top of, like as an overlay on top of the world that you're already involved in, is, I think, ultimately a really good, fun, interesting thing to do. It helps people to kind of, it drives people to interact with the environment around them in a more calming, relaxing, positive way.
Yes, I also did enjoy Den Coil.
Yes. Got there way faster than I was. But
it's a good show.
It's a really good show, which is about a bunch of kids who have AR glasses that they can wear. It's in Japan, and it's
really cute.
It's a comedy and it's relaxing, but it also has some rough edges on it, which is like to be like, well, the world also can be rough. I think the larger point I guess I'm trying to make is it's like, yeah, you're right. Kojima makes terrifying shit, like ideals, right? Well, and to map that onto, well, let's make your world into a more bleak place is like not the greatest thing right now, I think. But yeah.
Like when I played Death Stranding on stream, and the world depicted in Death Stranding is this, where there's this situation has happened where randomly people who die explode and cause basically nuclear explosions, and also sometimes rain falls that makes you old.
Right, that's where that's from.
And okay. So basically nobody goes outside,
right,
except for the couriers who you are. And so your job is to sort of reconnect people, and so everybody is basically secluded in these little enclaves, mm-hmm. either by themselves or in like a very small group,
right?
And you are sort of connecting these things together.
And I mean, the game is about building connection,
right? But which, by the way, playing that during the pandemic was maybe it was getting a little bit close to
yeah.
But it's a super fun game and super interesting and neat. But it depicts a pretty bleak world. I do not know how that would translate into whatever it ends up being with Niantic. And the kind of AR technology that Niantic has is the kind of thing that would be that in like the world of Metal Gear Solid or the world of Death Stranding would be used by the bad guys to like create some sort of, artificial intelligence that takes over the world and changes everybody's perception of what it turns out what happened in the first half of the game was merely your perception, and really this different thing was happening, or something like that.
I mean,
that's 100% like what would happen.
Right.
That would work well for an AR game, because if you already have the world as your base and then you're using the AR to show what a different perception is, that could be interesting.
I think it'll be a remarkable departure that if like whether it's Kojima himself that's saying I have an idea for this and I want to, in the vein of Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding and all the other stuff that I've made, and also the new horror game I'm making that's coming out and like all these other things. It's like in the vein of those things, I'm also going to then adapt that to an AR game that you can play in the world. I'm like, I guess, but. Man, what if it is something that's like Pokemon Go? Like, what if it's something that actually is bright and colorful and fun and relaxing and chill and integrates into the world? And it's just like, I did not expect to see this coming from Hideo Kojima.
And that's the point, though. Yeah. That Hideo Kojima does have his weird, goofy side.
Yeah.
Which comes across quite strongly in some of the games in a very, often in like a weirdly, like a kind of whiplash way that doesn't make any sense, but is still a strange, in Metal Gear Solid, you'll be like sneaking around and dealing with really serious matters of like trauma from being like a child soldier.
Yeah.
And then there's also a mini game where you have to like catch monkeys.
I want to believe that I would be playing this game like either with some sort of goggles or with like using my phone or whatever, and then I would be like looking around and I would catch a glimpse of something as I'm moving my phone, and I would just be like, wait, and I'd just pan up to like the sky, and it'd just be like a faded out version of Kojima looking down at me, and he would just wave and he's like, are you enjoying my game? And like, yes. And the microphone just is like, that's good.
Is he the type to do that?
He would totally do something like that, I bet. If it's like just hiding like way up in the clouds or something like that, you could just look up and see a giant face.
Honestly, the kind of thing I could see out of like Peter Molyneux.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would see that out of
Kojima doesn't. I don't think Kojima usually shows up in his own games.
It wouldn't be him, it'd be Mads Mikkelsen.
I was going to say random celebrity cameos. Definitely happens.
But I don't think it would be
not necessarily himself. But yeah,
it'd be Conan O'Brien.
Somebody would show up.
He'd get Conan O'Brien to be like, "You enjoying the new game?" Or it'd be different celebrities for different areas of the world, depending on who you know, like that kind of thing. It'd be like, "Oh, in North America they know Conan." So
anyway, and then the second bit of Kojima news is that he is working with a Japanese bank to Kojima Productions, his production company, is going to be there's going to be a credit card.
They're launching a credit card.
With Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, which is it's just a regular credit card.
Okay.
But it'll have reward points.
Yeah.
That you can then use at Kojima Productions to like buy Kojima Productions stuff, which I think it's both like weird in that like why does this exist, but also illustrates that apparently it's just really easy to make a credit cards like this kind of credit card, like this is this sort of co-branded credit card, I guess you would say. Is a very sort of easy thing for them to do.
Yes.
Sure.
I don't think there's a lot of requirements to make it happen.
Oh, no. So if you want to have an idea of how easy it is to do this, there's a company called MBNA that you can look up. And they, for North America, holy shit. Like they will make a credit card for you. If you're any sort of company, any sort of like, if you're a bank that doesn't even have its own credit card side yet, they would work with you for that. If you're a company that wants to do this kind of thing, they'll do that for you. Like the co-branded credit card thing is not a hard thing to make. Even Apple Card, backed by Apple, but no, actually not backed by Apple. It's backed by Goldman Sachs.
Right.
Like if you want to get into making a credit card, you can find a financial group out there that's willing to work with you to make the kind of thing happen you want to see happen. And
that's why we have so many credit cards from stores.
Yeah,
essentially, right? Because they're
not it's not as if that it's like frickin' Zellers is like putting up the money to be like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna back this card. It's like, no. You read the fine print, it's like Zeller's like credit card or Hudson's Bay credit card or whatever is backed by CIBC Financial here.
Like it's almost just a cosmetic thing.
It is almost always cosmetic, yeah. And so for them theirs to have an extra reward thing built onto it is like, oh, this is probably how you do the credit card thing now.
Yeah, it's like Air Miles, except it's Kojima Miles.
Yeah.
So anyway, as a side note, in sort of looking up a little bit of stuff about this story, Kojima Productions has one of the most extensive merchandise pages I've seen for a video game developer.
Really?
It's a cool aesthetic. Like they have a cool aesthetic.
Okay.
And Kojima has, and so they I don't think it's Kojima himself, but the artists behind, if you've seen any of the concept art behind any, Metal Gear Solid or Death Stranding or anything, it's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And they have a very extensive merchandise thing of, t-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff.
Would they even have merch for something like Metal Gear Solid? Are they still involved in that? Because I thought Metal Gear Solid was...
Yeah, they would not.
Yeah, maybe not for Metal Gear Solid, I guess.
Because that would have been...
Konami.
Yeah, when he worked there.
I guess it wouldn't be for Metal Gear Solid, but for various... The sort of aesthetic is very thing.
And for all the new for the new games he's making, OD, which is apparently the PT realization, if everyone remembers PT, which came out on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I think there's a new trailer dropped recently.
And Fizzint, I guess, is another game that he's doing. Fizzint, that's I'm reading the names down here. So it's like, it's going to be more than just Death Stranding stuff and something with the Kojima Productions logo on it. There will be other games to make merch up.
It's just we keep bringing up Metal Gear Solid, and I just don't think he has that pull anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. One of the things I wasn't personally I didn't personally check out that much of the PlayStation State of Play thing. Mm-hmm. Although Heather, you were saying that you watched.
I watched it.
Did you watch it?
It was boring. I mean, for me, it was definitely very boring. It's not. It's State of Plays are kind of like hit and miss for my kind of thing. But generally, I have like a few more things out of it than what I came out with this time. And this time, I was just like, this is really uninteresting.
Yes, I've definitely seen the meme around like this State of Play could have been an email.
Yeah, like what did I write down?
There's a few, you probably, sort of slightly ironically, considering, how much Beej is into, the Nintendo stuff. But I feel like of the Loading Ready Run crew, you're probably the heaviest PlayStation player. Maybe Graham?
Maybe.
But like you actually do
I'm
play.
I'm far more into Nintendo, but I do play a lot of PlayStation stuff.
You actually have like a lot of PlayStation stuff, yeah. But the kinds of stuff that they were announcing in this particular State of Play were not really up your alley.
I only write down stuff that I'm like, oh, this might be interesting. And I wrote down Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which not that interesting because they were in the end for me because it was just the Mega Man DLC pack and like meh.
Although that was quite, you and Beej quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, right? It was a good game. But it's not that interesting when you know the game is out. Like
right, it's not a big announcement.
Like I wrote down Code Vein 2 because I was like, actually looks kind of cool, but I probably won't play it because I just thought the one guy looked pretty cool in the anime aesthetic, and then all the girls looked very not. Final Fantasy Tactics, again, a thing we know because it's coming out September 30th. The only two new things for me.
And the Tactics is going to be a big multi-platform one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So the only two things that I thought were interesting was Chronoscript, The Endless End, had an interesting look to it as some sort of action thing where you could go through pages and stuff, though I'm really uncertain of it because the backgrounds are so busy. I don't know that I can play it. It's when you're playing an action game, you don't want the detailed backgrounds to be busy like that. So I'm hoping it's good, but I don't have much.
The Endless
hope for
End
it.
is an amazing name.
It's a good name. It looks like honestly, because a lot of the concept reminded me of the Plucky Squire, except for not doing the 3D part, but like going into different pages. The guy like zips into ink into stuff. It looked kind of like possibly when they pulled out that your map might be a bunch of pages pieced together. Like those are pretty cool ideas. But again, if I can't tell the bookcases in the background behind the character apart from the character,
that's a problem.
I just feel like potentially there's going to be an issue with that. And then they showed off with Wolverine. I am really excited for Wolverine, except for the fact that they were just incredibly excited about how much blood they can put into the game. And they showed this one image of his claws going through a guy's head again and again. And I was just like, I don't mind it being a little bloody, but that's all they were focusing on. So I'm like, is this like the whole game is just a ton of blood all the time? Because I don't know if I really care now.
Like you were a big fan of the Spider-Man.
Oh, the Spider-Man ones are great.
Which is
the only reason I'm really excited about the Wolverine one.
People,
yeah, it's Insomniac Games.
Right.
I still have to play Spider-Man 2, but I played 1 in Miles Morales. I platinumed those because I had a lot of fun with them. Whoops, sorry.
The story I wanted to talk about here was like I felt like, at least from the stuff I was looking at, the Wolverine was sort of the big splashy thing that everyone kind of focused on because Insomniac had announced Wolverine like 6 years ago or something and then kind of went quiet about it.
Well, they also had that leak happen.
Right.
A couple years back. I don't know if they had announced Wolverine was a game that they were playing on, but like a lot of stuff got like leaked out in that big Sony leak. And
so people were, there's a lot of speculation around it. And then people were like, where is it? And then so we finally got a proper trailer for it. And, people were like, hey, this looks great. But yeah, the rather heavy, which is, I was thinking is kind of interesting because most of the Wolverine like movies, except for maybe like the most recent one. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of the Wolverine movies have been in this weird like PG-13 area where he only uses his claws for like slashing through things. Like he's like, I'm gonna break. I like slash through this metal,
you see him
and then I like slash through this thing, and then I punch a guy without the claws.
You see him tear apart robots and Sentinels more often in cartoons and stuff rather than people.
Yeah, they're very careful to be like, it's like, how does a man with 3 knives attached to each of his hands have this little actual blood in the movies? And so the fact that they seem to have extremely leaned into that for the from like almost like a
again that's what their focus was definitely on when they were showing it off in this portion.
It reminded me a lot of like God of War or something, but like the takedown, like the sort of really bloody takedown stuff.
Yeah, like I think about things like the Harley Quinn cartoon, right?
Right.
Very adult. Also pretty gory in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Their first episode goes so hardcore into we're being gory and we're having all this stuff happen that to me it just read a lot like, okay, you really want to point out that your show is meant for an older audience. The majority of the rest of the show, it's not like they don't have it in there, but it's not that constant.
Right.
And that's all I want to know with this game is how constant is all the blood splatter going to be, because there's a point where I'm like, I'm fine with some of it happening, I'm fine with the like why you want it in there, but if that's the kind of game it's going to be constantly all the time, then it's not for me, which is fine. but I'd kind of getting to see a thing where they're just like, yeah, we're really excited about all of the detail because you can see the blood in the lines of his teeth. And I'm like, okay. I was more excited about the part where you said, oh yeah, you're going to get to go check out parts of Canada and Japan and all these things because of Wolverine's background. Or the parts where they're like, hey, he's actually kind of an unreliable narrator character because he's missing a bunch of his memories and there's all these other things. I'm like, that stuff sounds amazing.
And there's also lots of blood everywhere.
And I just want to know what the actual feel is going to be. And I don't feel like I feel like I definitely wasn't the target audience for that particular commercial, but
Yeah, I am intrigued.
If it ends up being a thing where I feel like it's just blood splatter after blood splatter, because I mean that's kind of why I'm not really interested in Mortal Kombat. I probably won't play it, but if the story sounds like it's really good, maybe I'll watch somebody else play it so I can skim through the fighty parts.
It did remind me a lot of like God of War or something, where it's like all the sort of the attacks, and there's like the finishing moves that are like rah, 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 rah.
Yeah,
smash a guy up and blood goes everywhere. Hopefully it's maybe not quite as excessive as God of War, but anyway, We'll see. Boop, 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 boop. I saw somebody throw this into the chat a while ago, but yeah, we officially have the first person who owns more than 40,000 games on Steam.
Okay.
So if you think your backlog is bad.
I mean, it is, but I have the intention of actually playing those games. So I don't think this person does.
No. So yes. So there's about, I think this article says there's about a dozen or so people who have over 30,000 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard when you've got like a lot of bundles and stuff that keep going on sale and you end up with like a bunch of Steam codes and...
I mean, 40,000 games, it's still a lot.
It's still a lot. Yeah. I'm not, I shouldn't diminish that part, but the idea of accumulating a lot is pretty easy.
Based on, depending on, lowest prices versus, depending on what how the games were bought, there's somewhere between $250,000 and $650,000 worth of games, which is a lot.
Yeah.
They're saying that because of how the how Steam puts the releases the information for games, this does not include like free-to-play games or games that like games that basically don't get any track. It says if players only games that reach broad player engagement and some commercial success are actually listed in your profile. So that means that it's entirely possible that it has more than 40,000 games, depending on, of course, those might be the free-to-play games and stuff. Anyway, Sonic's Legend is the guy's name, based in Shanghai. Is this article on Ars Technica? Ironically, the game that apparently he has put the most time into is the free-to-play Valve game Alien Swarm, which he's put 551 hours into.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it's a lot of hours, but
okay,
in
but
relation to a lot of games,
we all have that one game.
I was going to say,
right?
yeah. And who among us doesn't have a game that's got 500 hours in?
Most of us have that one game that is like somehow got nearly 1,000 hours in it. Chat, please don't tell me you're not one of them. I know a bunch of you have that one game that has almost 1,000 hours in it.
But yeah, I like the conclusion of this article is like, in a way, it's nice to know that even with access to nearly every paid PC game in existence, the one game this user keeps coming back to is a 15-year-old title that was free to play. And that's how it works. Sometimes there's just a game that like tweaks your brain in just the right way that you always come back to.
What's yours?
I've got a couple like Deep Rock Galactic is one that I keep coming back to. And Creeper World is the other one that I keep coming. I think I've played both of those on stream. But those are games that like when, I'll like play. I usually like play games pretty focusedly. Like I'll like start a game and I'll just like play that one game. But then once I finish that game, I'll usually stop. I'll wait a little bit before I pick up a new game.
Oh yeah.
And that sort of time.
It's that filler of like, here's something comfortable while I like process the other game and get ready for a new game.
Kind of relaxing games that I play between things. Is either Creeper World or Deep Rock Galactic.
Hey Beach, what's the one game you think you have something like 1,000 hours in?
Oh no.
A game that you like keep coming back to?
Oh no.
I know you got one. We all got one.
Threes.
Yeah, as for you, it's definitely going to be
Threes is the only
You
game.
were playing that when we were going online. Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing that when I was in the washroom.
Right, just now?
Yeah. Well, Threes is my go-to, like whenever I'm watching like Josh Johnson, for example, right? Me sitting and watching him do a stand-up, I'm like, I need visual input.
You need just like a little extra. Yeah.
And so I'll listen to like podcasts and stuff, but I'll be like, I'm playing Threes while listening to the podcast.
Playing on your phone while a guy's doing a stand-up set is very rude.
Yeah.
You can't see him. It's fine.
Which is weird, because if I was in the audience, I'd be like, I'm enjoying all of this. I just want to watch this person do their delivery and whatever. But if it's like, I hope so. I hope that if I ever go to a live stand-up show from now on, that I will not feel the urge to like pull up my phone. But the excitement of being there with the crowd and feeling the energy, because like being at any sort of live performance, I hope the energy would be there for me as well, being in the crowd. So
I've definitely fought the urge a couple of times while being on stream for like a board game or something to not pull out my phone because
like during somebody else's turn.
It's like it's just like a thing will hit my brain where I'm like, I should check that, or this would be during other board game sessions while you're waiting for people to do stuff. You kind of have this habit of pulling out your phone and maybe like doing a couple of things. And so sometimes during streams, I'm just like, don't do that. I know you just thought of that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Find something new to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. Kids these days.
Oh, they're all still talking about their turn. All right.
Boring.
I guess I could read chat.
What I'm doing when I'm playing a board game is I'm like trying to decide what my turn is going to be while I'm shutting up and seeing what everybody else is doing. And then when somebody's done with their turn, if it's not my turn next, then it's me redoing my turn in my head to be like, oh, now everything has changed slightly, so now I have to do something different.
Why did I make that plan knowing
I have three people in front of me? Yeah.
But usually for a lot of people, it'll be something like World of Warcraft, any kind of MMO. I saw a couple people say Final Fantasy 14 in chat. You will get mobile games. I'm sure Balatro is a huge number for a lot of people. Animal Crossing. I know some of our friends have so much time in the one game.
When I saw one of our friends in particular, how much time that they had put into changing their island over and over and over again, and I saw the number for how long they'd been playing, and I was just agog because I'm like, I know it's the pandemic, but holy shit, you are playing this like hours upon hours every day, because that was their job. Their job was to go out and do stuff, and they couldn't go out and do stuff. So like now I can't do these things anymore. I need to do something with my time. So
so it's usually games like that. Mine has been Hyrule Warriors because there's too much stuff to do in that game. But one day I will complete all of it because I keep going back to it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're making a new one, which will definitely take out my progress time for the old one.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun or cool new games that might take up a lot of your time, so I loved all the reporting around this game. So there's a game coming out from NetEase called Ananta. And there's a lot of the reporting around this is very like skeptical but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a GTA style game.
It is an open world GTA style game.
Oh, I would not have gotten that from that artwork.
And is this the trailer? No, this is just an image.
It's anime as hell.
It is anime as hell. And to be honest, it looks kind of awesome.
Who's making this?
NetEase.
Right. Okay.
So this is why there's some skepticism.
This is not MiHoYoverse. Oh man, can we get rid of the anime concept of the high-pitched girl?
I don't mind it in Japanese.
No, but in English, can we get rid of that concept?
Yeah, I would love that. This looks beautiful.
So it looks beautiful.
Oh man, Dragon Tail? Yeah, okay.
It's got this like GTA stuff going on in terms of just like driving around the city. I don't know what's going on with that guy. It's got a bunch of, weird things happening. You can stuff, and then it shows you've got like some sort of like traversal.
Yeah, look like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man traversal stuff. There's some
thugs?
What looks like some pretty intense combat things.
Yeah, the problem
reminds me a bit of.
This actually looks like gameplay. It's hard to tell the difference between the gameplay scenes and the not.
It reminds me a bit of Sleeping Dogs, the combat there. So anyway, this trailer is coming out, and people are like, "Wow, that looks really neat." But also NetEase, what's the
catch?
What's the catch? And then on top of that,
it's going to cost like $150.
So on top of that, free to play.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
And on top of that, they have said no character gachas. So
what's the model?
Monetization is going to be like cosmetic only stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so
I need a new jacket. I go to the gacha machine and I roll for it.
Is this going to be like Infinity Nikki?
I don't know.
Because I think that's also mostly cosmetics, isn't it?
I don't know.
So this game, like the gameplay had better it better feel really good.
Each of the characters themselves, each of which has different gameplay elements attached, will be completely free to unlock through gameplay progression. So, yeah, again, everybody, there's been several articles about this where with headlines like improbably good-looking game or like suspicious game or like...
We all want this to be good because we like the way it looks, but we are suspicious of everything that's going on because we've been bitten before.
So here's what I think this is.
Okay.
I think we all know the term loss leader.
Yes, that's what the milk is at the grocery store.
Right. You could
Except for now, I'm pretty sure it's not that anymore.
Yeah. I think the secret strategy here is to say, well, yeah, we can make money off this game because you'll want to dress up your cute like a sidekick character with like a new tail or like different jean shorts or some shit like that, right? Whatever. It seems to be like a troubleshooting game as well. Go around and do small missions and just kind of get the dopamine hit of doing like connected stuff to kind of move the story along. But because it's free to play and it's open world, it also feels like this could be an endless style of game. They'll just always be adding new stuff for you to do.
Sure.
So maybe like in the Destiny style thing, maybe, who knows. But I feel like what it's doing is saying, if we can suck up all of those casual players who are playing like maybe Fortnite, maybe not. Maybe some Final Fantasy 14 casuals, maybe some like WoW casuals, like people who are not like utterly devoted to the cause, and say, you don't have to pay $15, $20 a month for that game. You can play our game for free. And let's get 4 or 5, 10, 50 million people or whatever. Like maybe that's the aim is to say, what if we get 100 million people playing this game? and then they all feel like on occasion dropping $5 a year or whatever to buy a new pair of shorts for the bunny girl. That's a lot of money. So what if we can just suck in all these casual players and provide them all this opportunity? Because I think that's the Fortnite model as well. What if you can suck in all these players to do that, and eventually maybe they'll spend some money on V-Bucks, but not a battle royale shooter? What if it's a open world GTA style game instead? And if they can get there first and they can make it enough fun and interesting for people to want to come to that and stay there, maybe they win. And maybe they end up putting enough other smaller groups out of business with their games that it's like it's a much more achievable goal. So we don't make any money for a little while, but that doesn't matter because we will make money later.
Okay.
That's a big bet.
I think Lost Leader works for that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And this is like the free Lost Leader, the thing that attracts somebody to come into the store in the first place.
Yeah, except the way a Lost Leader works is like you go to buy milk because you need it, and you buy other stuff because you're there.
Right. You go play this video game because you need a video game to play, and while you're there, you buy nicer jean shorts for the bunny girl.
But you don't have to do that at all.
That's true. You don't.
In most gacha games, the whole thing is to get you to spend money on that stuff, not in a Lost Leader capacity, but by bugging you all the time about things that you can buy.
I mean, and that'll be interesting too. Like, will they bug you an awful lot to buy stuff?
And they might need to, because the thing is, unlike a store where if you're selling enough other products, you can keep the store running. If you don't have people coming in and paying enough money to keep the development of this going,
it's also not
just loss at that point.
Yeah.
It's also not totally clear if this is like an open world, like a multiplayer.
That's true.
Open world thing, or whether it is a sort of a single player experience.
It feels very single player, doesn't it?
It does. So anyway, we shall see. Maybe it is. We'll and maybe there is enough room there that they can make this. I mean, obviously, lots of people are like, well, it's just Spider-Man and Yakuza. And they're stealing ideas from all these other games.
Is it a whole bunch of cool games poured into one thing? Well, I wonder if it'll do well for a brief period of time. It might, unless nothing actually belongs together, right?
I mean, it depends, right? Like, I know a bunch of people I know checked out Genshin Impact when it came out because the gameplay looked good.
Yeah.
And for some people, they stuck with it. And for a bunch of us, we were like, okay, cool, we'll check that out, but there's other games for us to play.
Yeah. And maybe that'll happen with this too, but
it's hard to figure out if that's going to work, right? We've had so many MMOs that don't work, and then we have a few that have still stuck around, or you have stuff that keeps getting updated because there's enough of an audience that it's fine. It depends on what you're going for, but I think it's impossible to be like, we'll put out this game and we'll know that it'll happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, we shall see. I'm sure more info will come out about it. Right now, they're opening stuff for like pre-registrations for it. There are 10 million pre-registrations apparently.
Yeah.
But they have no release date on it so far. But apparently, it will be playable at Tokyo Game Show, which is happening soon, I believe.
It's this weekend. It's right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe it's playable right now. Google Play is getting they are revamping the Google Play store is getting a revamp.
Okay.
Part of it is that they're doing this like Google Play Games, capital G Games.
Yeah.
Which gives you it's like your gamer profile within Google Play. It's a little bit like Apple has the whatever
Game Center.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like a public thing where you can have
pseudo-public.
There's a private part where it tracks all your stuff, and then there's also a sort of a public thing. Again, a little bit like your Steam account or whatever.
Yeah, publishing your name on a leaderboard, saying
where
you
it's
play this game.
You play this game, you're so good at this, and
you have a friend list,
doing all this stuff. And then it's also going to be using, of course, because this is Google, they're going to be using some fancy AI stuff to there's going to be a U tab in the Google App Store, and the U tab, which
with the letter U.
No, Y-O-U.
Oh,
you.
huh.
About you, I guess, kind of, or for
Yeah.
you, or yeah.
Which whenever it says, this article says U tab, it's really hard not to see YouTube, because that's also Google.
Oh yeah,
But,
that's pretty close with the T in there.
but U tab will be one of the like main navigation things in the Play Store, and it will show you your rewards and your games and all that kind of stuff. And it'll also recommend a bunch of things using their fancy algorithmic things, not only games but also like books and podcasts.
Oh, I see.
Well, yeah, I mean it would, because that's all going to be interconnected with their stuff.
Right.
So they're also, though, the other part that they're doing is a new in-game overlay called the Sidekick.
Oh no.
Which is so again, it's like a little like pull-out side thing.
Sure.
And again, it's got achievements and you can take screenshots and do all the sort of standard stuff. But it also has connects into Gemini, which is Google's AI assistant thing. And there's a Gemini Live shortcut. Basically, you can tap it, and you can not only ask it a question, but it will also like send your current screen to Gemini.
Right.
So you can be like, how do I get this crystal or
Right.
whatever? And Gemini
We'll make up some shit.
will
that
make up something about how to get that crystal.
Yeah.
Which is possibly not good.
Yeah. Maybe not even correct. Have you tried walking up to it? It's like, it's literally, I can't do the, use the hook shot. It's like, that's not even in this game.
I like this. The example they have here is somebody playing looks like a football game or a soccer game, and it's like, the question. I keep getting outscored. Help me brainstorm ways to edit my team for a more balanced attack, and then the answer being, you are currently using 4-3-3 attack formation. What kind of play style are you going for? And then I like an attacking play style. It's like the 4-3-3 attack and the 4-2-4 attack could be good options. They are both focused on getting more players forward for more chances.
Thanks, Gemini.
Which is
That's not what I asked.
Did you guys see that video? I think it was a couple of weeks back of the failed live AI.
The
thing. I think it was Meta.
The Facebook, the
where
Meta
they kept asking to give them a recipe for something, and they clearly already had like all the ingredients they actually needed, and the AI kept telling them what the next step was past like having combined all the ingredients and not like the actual first step of combining the ingredients.
It was like clearly set up to be like the easiest possible test.
Yeah, and they kept repeating the question and getting the same answer, and then at the end they just blamed the Wi-Fi connection, and then it went back to the person on stage being like, I guess there's a problem with the Wi-Fi, and it's like, no, clearly there's not. That's not a Wi-Fi problem.
Like, as a quick note, even like for this particular one, I gotta say, like, this as an example that it gives as this like thing, like, I feel like there's a very, very high percentage chance that these are answers, that the answers this is giving is like actual like soccer football knowledge.
Yeah.
Not knowledge about this video game.
No.
Like, it's just like, this is just generally accepted football information.
Also,
which doesn't necessarily, like, the concept, like, maybe this video game doesn't even have a 4-3-3 or 4-2-4 thing. It's a mobile football game. I don't know whether
there's
it does
also
or not.
nothing about that screen that would tell anybody I'm using a 4-3-3 attack formation based on what you're seeing in the screenshot, because it's not laid out in a 4-3-3. Everybody's kind of like, there's 4 people in the middle and 3 people up top, and it's like, wait, so shouldn't that be 3-4? Like, I don't play soccer. Also don't play football, but it's like, I feel like you are inventing stuff to go over top of a screenshot that has nothing to do with the thing you're seeing anyway. So does the game, if you're alleging that Gemini knows all this stuff about what you're doing, it's not analyzing a screenshot to tell you what to do. It would have to be watching you play the fucking game the whole time.
Oh, but if I put this screen in my PowerPoint and I show it to a bunch of other people who are investors, they're not going to know.
No.
Yeah. Although, as somebody in the chat points out, like, the Elizabeth talking about the loading tip. Now that I find that would be fun.
Yes.
Is if, the little tips that they do on the loading screens.
Yes.
If it just inserts like, random pieces of information that it decides are useful.
Oh yeah. If I was like running to catch a bus and it's like, you could take the train. Like if it's like, you can take the subway to get from this point to this point. It's like, unusual recommendation, seeing as we don't have a subway here in Victoria. But thank you for your confidence is really appreciated.
There's a video I saw a while ago.
Have you tried dicing melons?
I think it was like an old College Humor video or something that was like making fun of like video game bro YouTube videos.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like, now is the part of the show where I play and get frustrated by an old video game. And now here's the part where, I read off cool facts about a video game that can be taken from the first paragraph on Wikipedia, something like that. And so it ends with it's like, top 10 facts about Sonic. Did you know Tails is Sonic's friend?
It was one of the ones that was top in the article. So.
I just can imagine that, just little things like that on the loading screen of a game.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's being like, Kratos is a giant scary man.
God, I'm surprised.
They're not wrong.
I'm surprised.
He is a giant scary man.
I am very surprised that I haven't had a run-in with any sort of assistant or AI thing or whatever when I'm like, oh, hey, I don't want to say the name because I'm going to set her off, but I'm like, take me to whatever, take me to the Chinese food place on 4th Street. And did you know that Fort Street was named for this thing, then named in 1841 for this, and I just take me to the goddamn location. Like, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that stupid shit come up.
Right.
Where it's just like, oh, you asked about 4th Street. I'm like, no, I asked you to take me there.
Although if AI, especially direction things, if there was an option that you could hide. But if there was an option to just give me random facts
as I
walk, I would actually sometimes want to have that.
I want to go on a walking tour of my own city, but I want to do it while I'm trying to get to my doctor's appointment. So okay, that's not so bad. But it would always be, here's what I found on the web. It's like, I don't know. Oh, God.
No, I think I'd rather just get a tape of a walking tour and take the path that the walking tour wants you to take.
That's true.
And do it on an actual Walkman.
Time for another ChillPoint reads patch notes.
Great.
This one might take a while, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I might leave.
So,
can we just do the good ones?
Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide is a game that came out a while ago now for I think it was a multi-platform release. I think it's like a squad shooter kind of thing. Or a horde shooter, I think it's called. Anyway,
sure.
Why it's notable that they just released a patch? Yeah, Left 4 Dead kind of thing. Why it's notable is that they just released on quite enormous patch called Bound by Duty.
Oh, they're referring to it as an update entirely. So there's a lot of new features as opposed to just patches. And, fixes.
So so they've added a new elite enemy type, a new weapon, the Power Falchion.
Okay.
And they've also done a bunch of gameplay changes. The Zealot and the Psyker have had their talent trees reworked, all this kind of so a bunch of stuff has changed. But and a bunch of they've changed a bunch of the difficulty modes or a bunch of the health and of stuff of enemies in in different difficulty modes
Okay.
and stuff, and big weapon stuff. The thing that is most interesting from a checkpoint point of view of this stuff, as well as we just like patch notes. The patch notes are some of the most extensive, longest patch notes that I have ever seen. I think I checked, and it's something in the realm of like 8,500 words worth of patch notes.
Wow.
You could probably already guess that this did not come up in the checkpoint episode because we did not have that much time to read.
Let me just be scrolling through the patch notes here. Wow. They are, they, I mean, as well as changing a bunch of stuff, they're just very thorough, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
For them.
You know, there's nothing worse than a game that updates and the patch notes are, you know, miscellaneous bug fixes.
Yeah. Bug fixes and feature improvements. Is this a 1.1
And then-
update?
Hell yeah, hella hype for this.
Great.
It's the first response.
That's good content. Is this like a 1.1? Like the game came out initially as 1.0, and this is technically calling it 1.1 or something?
No, I think the game's been out for a little while now.
Okay.
I
So they might have
don't
had a
know what
couple-
the name of the. I don't know what the dot patch of this.
Okay.
But anyway,
It's like 1.0.0.1000, and you're like, holy shit, what?
so anyway, it just very extensive patch notes. They're changing far too much. Like in this article, it says the patch notes are far too big for us to paste into this article without breaking something. So click here to see it.
Yeah. Good.
A game that I have a lot of affection for.
Yeah.
That I played on stream. The Last Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful game by same people who did
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus and Ico.
Yeah.
Super neat game that I played on stream, and it is being commemorated. I don't know why now, but maybe it's an anniversary or something. Now approaching 10 years old.
Wow, jeez.
But they are coming out with a commemorative statue, $1,500 commemorative statue. So we're talking serious
Quite some commemoration.
Commemorativation.
Very limited edition, I'm sure.
I would assume so, just because probably not many people are want to.
Yeah.
It's 50 centimeters tall.
So half a meter, okay.
So that's it's like
Yeah.
that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, you with a price tag like that, you expect either it to be quite large or really fancy, right? Like,
Very detailed, yeah. Let's see.
That-
It's Trico, your animal friend, with the little guy on top.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I will say, I feel like it would be a more accurate representation of my experience playing if it was this exact same pose, but the little guy is about 6 inches in front of Trico's face, falling, and Trico is just looking at you.
Like, oh.
There's a particular part where you like fall off a thing and Trico grabs you.
Right.
But if for whatever reason certain time things happen where the you don't hit the
Trigger the flag?
the trigger
Okay.
to make that happen, and so there's just that thing of people like, oh no, I missed the drop, and then Trico's standing right there and you just go right past his nose and he's like, what do you want me to do? He's supposed to grab you.
It's
funny.
funny.
That seems to be like my experience with a lot of multiplayer games, though.
I know that the idea is obviously it's big. Right?
Yeah.
So you have this big thing, and that's great. 2/3 of it is just a cliff.
It's true.
And which feels a little like, I know it's like having it makes it feel a lot more like, oh yeah, this comes from the game, and it makes sense that it's like this, because you want that kind of, it's precarious. And
but they could just have like the top part of the building, and then have the actual character be bigger.
And you could weight the base of it like really heavily, so that then you could put it on the edge of a bookshelf or something high up, so he can kind of lean out over the bookshelf, and kind of have it integrated into put some museum wax on the bottom so it doesn't want to tip over and fall out. But yeah,
it's the size of that is like I'm not sure where you put that.
$1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't even think that would fit on our. I don't know if we have enough space on our bookshelves at home.
No,
between that and the next shelf.
The height might be fine, but the base size might be too big.
Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure.
At that point,
yeah, it's quite the thing.
We wouldn't fit in with all of our plushies.
You're spending about $1,000 of that $1,500 is just on how well somebody can render landscape. Which I mean, exactly. If you buy a lot of Warhammer, you've probably already spent $1,000 on all the landscaping options, all the models and stuff for your Warhammer games. So
you have to paint those.
Yeah, and this comes pre-painted. So yeah, just saying its value. Maybe the interiors are all painted too, right?
I doubt that.
Maybe they sculpted it and it's like handmade, so it's all like
that's a very Lego-esque thing that you're describing, and that's not.
Been glued together.
The Game Developer Conference is no more.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh, no.
Forget the Game Developer Conference.
Okay.
And now celebrate and rejoice in GDC, Festival of Gaming.
Oh.
So.
GDC Fog.
I don't think...
Fog.
GDC, I think it's called GDC Festival of Gaming. So they may have even dropped the
calling it Game Developers Conference.
What GDC actually even stands for.
Like it's KFC.
Yeah.
I like calling it Fog because that sounds very truthful of any kind of convention thing I've been at.
The GDC Fog, which is the thing that game developers are very intimately aware of, is integrating fog into their games.
So.
It's true. That makes it so, things far away.
Are they just rebranding? Did they do anything else that's actually interesting or useful with any of the problems that they actually have as that event? Or are they just rebranding?
Well, I will tell you.
Is it easier to get in? Is it more affordable for those who can't actually afford to go because that event consistently makes it hard for devs to actually go?
The GDC Festival of Gaming is where the entire B2B games ecosystem comes together to learn, connect, collaborate, and celebrate.
B2B
if you make games happen, welcome home.
B2B means business to business.
Oh, not back to back.
Yeah. So what they're...
I thought that was one of the characters in Nier Automata.
Yeah.
That is B2.
2B.
2B.
Yeah.
You're right.
So Games Developer Conference has always been about... Developers come out to meet with other developers. It's a trade show, but then it turns into a larger conference to talk about. But it also becomes a marketing arm because naturally that's what's happening. But trade shows are also like marketing arms anyway.
It's a networking event.
But it is meant to be business to business, right? It's meant to be that if you are a developer, you go talk to other developers, you go talk to publishers, you go talk to all those other people, you share information back and forth. And hopefully it means that it's professional development, that you get to hear other developers who have solved problems that you're trying to solve. You get to hear them talk about those kind of things. So nothing about this has changed. It sounds like in the same way that E3, when they said we have to put a consumer-based chunk of that into E3.
Yeah.
Because it was just an industry trade show for a very long time that got a lot of hype and a lot of press coverage. And so this does not sound like they're going to pivot to being consumer.
So, okay, yeah. They say next year's event will include more than 1,000 speakers, according to the organization, as well as more than 725 sessions and 400 plus exhibitors, and is expected to attract around 30,000 attendees. So each one of your speakers will have 30 people watching them, apparently.
Wow.
It seems like too many speakers.
Yeah, you can't go see.
They
all
don't speak
1,000
all at the
people.
same time. I'm pretty sure they schedule them not to do that.
Though you probably aren't also
all in one room.
Yeah.
You probably aren't also getting to watch every single
No,
Not
I mean,
everyone's going to have information
Yeah.
you're interested in. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, like
It's one of those
we
like
take
wall
this
of
to like
sound
a
speakers systems.
if we take this like an anime convention that has panels. You don't go see every panel, even if
Right.
like because that's just not plausible. You go pick and choose. Like they put more than one on at a time.
You find the track that you want to be on, and you
They
probably.
probably
that's a thing
they
these
probably
days.
have like a specific keynote thing that most people want to go to.
Yeah.
Right.
There might be a keynote every day, in fact. And
So here we go. It's claimed that the next year's event will feature a new pass structure with more access and no more trade-offs, with a new festival pass, which will replace the previous all-access pass and be available at a dramatically lower price to ensure visitors can take part in as many sessions as possible.
Interesting.
But there is this aspect that, like you were talking about with E3, where it's like these conventions, they keep getting stuck in this thing where like we're a developer conference,
Yeah.
or we're a press press thing. We're not for the general public. We're just a press thing.
Yeah.
And that's great. And then they go, but more people would come if we let the general public in, and that would make us more popular. And then they do that, but the problem is that defeats the commercial and the press part, because once the general public is in, the press don't have the same kind of access as they need.
Yeah.
The whole point of having a press special thing is that they can go off with the developers and do interviews and do one-on-one sessions, and they can interact with each other without the public being there.
Yeah.
And so they keep trying to have like all these E3's doing it, and they keep trying to have it both ways, and it just doesn't work.
E3's issue too was because it was like this exciting thing that for a long time you only read about in magazines and such, that there's all kinds of stories of people starting up little blogs and stuff so that they can go, right? Like, because you had to get like a press pass to actually go, and then over time,
yes, hello, I'm press.
It became. So it already had that functionality of people trying to get into it who didn't care. And part of the reason is because they have those big things where they're actually showing off new games. And that's where like a lot of new reveals are happening. So when you have also Twitch, them all streaming to Twitch during that same weekend of their actual things,
the sort of secretive nature isn't really there anymore. It's
not secretive anymore. It could still have been a press-only thing, but if they were like, hey, we're not making enough money and we know we're popular enough, we have that idea in people's brains of like, man, it'd be so cool to go. I can see why they would be like, we're going to open up the consumer side of things.
Right.
They shouldn't. That's because it's not really good for that. But and GDC doesn't really have that, right? People don't generally announce new products at GDC in the same way, right? Like video games aren't like, hey, here's all of our new games.
Not in the same way.
It's like stuff it's tech that's still in development or that they're trying out, isn't it? It's more R&D.
I think so.
The whole idea of this conference was supposed to be not, hey, look at me, I made this cool game. It's supposed to be, hey, look at me, I have already made all these cool games, and I want to talk about subjects that have to do with how I make these games.
Yeah.
And other developers are like, oh, yeah, I also want to hear you overcame that challenge.
Or the panel will be like how to, increase the performance of your physics objects.
Yeah.
Or,
or sometimes
like
or sometimes it's even things like how to provide support when you're a one-person show and you're busy developing a game, but you have to support a previous game.
Yeah, like the people who want to go to GDC are other developers. They're not generally people in the public who want to see the latest video game that's about to be released.
Yeah, Apple's WWDC is like that as well. Their Worldwide Developer Conference is the same kind of thing where it's like we do a big keynote that talks about the latest software stuff, because that's by and large what a lot of developers are going to be interested in, is like what's the new OS going to be like for these different things. And then they have They have people who are developing at Apple who are holding conferences to say, here's how this stuff works. And then developers can come into those rooms, listen to them talk about the specific challenges, and even then get assistance from the people who work on making the APIs in the first place. So it's like a great way to have access to doing that. And there are also people who got kind of pissy about that because they're like, I want to go to WWDC, but the tickets are so expensive and I can't afford to do that. And it's like, well, why were you going? It's like, well, I mean, mostly just, see a bunch of my friends and to hang out and get booze afterwards and to have a big drink and enjoy the parties and stuff. It's like, so not to go to the conference, not to sit in the room and actually learn how to do stuff there. It's like, no, I was here to just meet all my friends. And it's like, why the fuck are you going to this conference? And so they were like, yeah, why the fuck am I going? They started AltCon instead. So it'd be like, we have a con happening at the same time so we can all meet each other after the main convention. It's like, what a great idea.
My understanding for GDC is a lot of people just travel to the event and don't go into the event because they can't afford to go into the event, but they would like to actually participate and do those things.
Because you want to go talk to the people.
So you have the people who are trying to still gather that information outside, unable to get in.
And there may be, like, TED... We all know TED Talks. TED ended up adopting a model, not just TEDx, but they ended up adopting a model where they were like, we're gonna get a corporate sponsor to fund us putting our talks online, and that's how a lot of those talks end up going viral and spreading the ideas around to people and getting to hear that stuff. And it's like, I can see GDC being like, oh, the festival pass will be a way for you to attend the event and then participate in more sessions or as many sessions as you want. Like, how will we do that? Well, easy. If you have a festival pass, you can get on your phone or go back to your hotel and open your laptop, and you can stream the sessions that you want to watch that we don't have room for you to step into the room to attend, but we'll stream those sessions on a private service that people can access. And if you have a festival pass, that gives you access to it, and then you can also still be at the event, but you don't have to you can meet other people and network and whatever, and you can also watch all these things later. That might be what they're fixing to do as well.
I mean, that'd be cool. I'd like to see them actually say that, though.
I would, too, if that's how they're... Because I don't know how else you say, well, you can attend whatever sessions you want or attend even more sessions. I'm like, a physical location only has so many people you can cram into it. And then inside that location, there's only so many breakout rooms you can put together. So not everyone's going to be able to attend every single talk. Unless they've noticed that there's been, like, a ton of people showing up to GDC, but then they look at the count for like who's in the theaters at any specific time, being like, the theaters are only ever half full. Like, we have full capacity for people who are attending, but maybe like most of the theaters don't get full up, and they're like, why is that? It's like, maybe your talks aren't interesting, or like, I don't know. I don't know any of these things, but maybe that's why they're saying we're going to pivot to make it cheaper, and that'll hopefully encourage more people to come to the event who are developers, and then they'll want to go to those rooms and actually attend those to attend all those talks, which is really the point of the whole
ideally. Again,
exercise.
The biggest thing I always hear is that it's completely unaffordable to go into the event.
Yeah. I mean, probably even to get a hotel near the event.
Well, I mean, there's that too, but generally you don't... The control you have over that when hosting an event is changing cities or putting your event in a place that is not expensive to be in.
Yeah. And at least when Apple does the WWDC, it's like they're trying to do it in service of encouraging people to develop for their platforms. So they have a business interest. I'm like, GDC, what is the business interest of GDC? Who is bankrolling GDC to make that happen? Is it a bunch of AAA industry
I'm not
people?
sure, actually, because I know E3 was backed by, what, the ESA? Or...
From E3 was ESA, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
ESA,
right.
Which is basically,
it's all the big AAAs.
All the big AAAs, so you can kind of see what they want out of that. But
yeah, and I do wonder if...
I'm assuming GDC has some sort of backing.
Yeah, and unless GDC's whole backing is the people who attended the conference, in which case it's like, well, I guess, yeah, you got to do better for the people who are your members who are paying to go there in the first place. And maybe if that's by saying, move it along the demand curve by saying we're going to make it cheaper so that the demand goes up for tickets, then we can actually have more people attend. Maybe that's how they're going to
I don't know if they've ever had a problem selling tickets.
Yeah.
I just know that for smaller developers, they can't get in there, and it's seen as necessary by some to get your networking on or to be able to go and see these events.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just like this one extra bit. It's talking about Chris Crawford, who's the original founder of GDC. Is no longer the organizer.
Fair.
But just this small thing being, it was originally founded in 1988.
Okay.
The first conference was at his house in California.
Great. So like 10 people, I guess, maybe 15 people. All right.
It's very Anime Club-esque.
That's fun.
Yeah. The 30,000 people were tough to fit into his living room.
Yeah. Oh, they have a ton of sponsors. So Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Apple. So basically anybody who could be working, who are like, because those big companies will want to go to GDC to find not only like, is there some small developers here that could be making games for me as a publisher, but also is there maybe a studio we can buy up because we find like 10 people who are working on a cool game and we say, well, we want to buy that game and buy your studio and do that as well. There's a lot of that networking and acqui-hire stuff that's going to come into play there, I'm sure.
Anyway. And finally, moving on, I wanted to, we talked about that Google's Gemini AI thing, maybe not that useful helping out with your football video game stuff. But who would probably be helpful? Yep. Wayne Rooney.
Who used to play football.
Who was in fact, was a huge football player for Manchester United from 2004 to 2017.
Everybody's favorite football team, Manchester United.
During which time they won 5 Premier League titles and a bunch of other stuff.
That's how you know they're God's favorite.
Anyway, on his podcast, The Wayne Rooney Show.
Okay, cool. No one's going to take that name.
But anyway, he was talking about, they got him talking about video games in the sense of, because the EA Sports FC 26 just came out. So talking about that, because he appeared on the cover of the FIFA games a couple times.
Okay.
And so he's like, people were saying like, was he any good at it?
At FIFA?
at playing the game.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, at first it was like, oh yeah, I was like, one of the best in the world. No, actually I wasn't. I was like medium good at it. But the interesting thing that he talked about later on is while they were playing, apparently the Manchester United team played a lot of PSP.
Really?
This is 2004 to 2017.
PSP was a fairly, maybe not the highest popularity, but
I mean, if you need a portable, it did pretty good.
Thing, yeah. If you're a footballer, you're going to have excess money to spend on Lux items, and a PSP is going to look like a Lux item as a gaming platform. So definitely they would.
It's going to have the sports game.
So he's saying they weren't playing FIFA on their PSPs. He's saying, but they're saying, he says, at Man United, I really believe a big part of our success was playing the PSP. No, he says, no, honestly, it got us communicating more. We used to play on the plane and on the team bus. You'd play a 5v5. So it was Rio, Michael Carrick, John Shea, Wes Brown in a 5v5. They played SOCOM on PSP. It was an army game. He's saying you have to talk, you have to tactically be right and go and revive people when they get killed. And he's saying the communication was a massive part of our success, I believe. Ask any of the players who played at the same time. It was brilliant. And actually, how you played that game reflected that player, how they played the game. It was crazy. Saying Michael Carrick was a little sneaky, calm one. You'd be lying down hiding, and you'd hear a little grenade bounce where he'd thrown it. I was just all in, straight to the front line of the trenches to get there, and that might surprise you, but it was a massive part of our success.
Not every player bought in. But...
Yeah, saying apparently the team's goalkeeper wasn't really in favor of the PS.
Not everybody plays video games, right?
Edwin van der Sar used to get annoyed because we were on the team bus, for instance, and we'd be shouting all over the place. And sometimes you've got one player left, you're trying to flank them and go and get them, and you're communicating together. And Van der Sar used to get annoyed and move. He tried to get as far away from us as possible.
I mean, if you had a 5v5 going on a team bus or on a plane, and you got 10 dudes all yelling at the top of their voices to like, oh, go this way, do this, whatever. And then you have cross chat because they're both sitting near each other. I'd be pissed off too.
If you're trying to do anything like read a book.
Or sleep.
But yeah, and what's interesting is this actually 2 years ago in 2023, a couple of the other guys from the team independently talked about, they're saying, yeah, we used to play a game at United on the PSP. For those younger listeners, it was a handheld PlayStation. It says Forster. We used to play SOCOM, an old school Call of Duty. We used to spend hours in this game. If we were doing an hour's journey, then that's not long enough. You need 2 or 3 hours so we can get really amongst it. 2 teams, 6v6 or 5v5, most for squad. Most of our squad, other than the oldies, like Gary, Neville, Edwin, and Giggsy.
Great English names.
But I actually still say part of us winning in our culture was down to that game. So this is one of the other guys on the team.
Yeah.
Same thing. Which I love independent confirmation of that. But this idea that playing this built up that rapport and the idea of communicating to each other. But also, I do like. Yeah,
it's probably a great.
SOCOM. It was like old school Call of Duty.
Yeah, it was actually a great analog for what they were doing too, because it's the idea of you squad up, so you have a team based small team based combat, and the constant we're going to communicate, we're going to push forward, we're going to do this. It's a competition based thing, right? It's like not ever if we tried to do that here. We do. We have crossing the streams and stuff, and people doing that stuff all the time. And it's like, we're not in a competitive situation here at work.
Yeah.
So it doesn't the getting better at being communicative in the game and playing with teams and whatever here. While that might help overall communication, it doesn't actually have a one-to-one mapping to a lot of the stuff that we accomplish here, unless we were constantly competing against each other, which I really don't want to do.
I mean, it helps. For other
other aspects,
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, and other video part of our, unlike them, our job includes playing video games.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, remember playing was it Cook Serve? Is it Cook Serve Delicious?
Delicious. Yeah.
Where the over the course of a stream, really realizing the communication aspect.
Oh yeah.
Just being like, say where you're going.
Yeah. Are you thinking of the other one where people are all moving around the
Overcooked. That's it. That's what I'm
Cook
thinking
Serve
of.
Delicious. It was a one-player game that we yelled other phrases at the person playing.
Oh yeah, we were making up jargon
so that we could help that person correlate faster, which is still a type of communication. But for Overcooked.
Yeah. It's just that real sort of realizing how important communication is.
The fun part with that is watching the breakdown where it's instead people I know Ian did this constantly where he was just fine, I'm just gonna throw the ham over there, and it's please don't, you keep throwing it into the water.
Yeah.
Or he tried to deliver it and constantly fall off the edge, and that wasn't the job that he should have been doing.
It's you pick up the ham and leave it for us somewhere, or I'll jump across and get the ham myself, or whatever. Or if you've got to throw it, it's I got ham in 3, 2. There's some things we could do to try to really improve the communication. But yeah.
Do you remember Beach and I? We were on a road trip to a convention at some point with a bunch of other improvers, and we I think we all had DSs. And we were playing, I want to say, the Dokapon Kingdom DS game.
You sure were.
And there was that's a real communication. Improv is a real communication.
There was a point where we had to stop to get lunch, but we were all in the middle of the game, and you can't just shut the game off because then you lose all your progress. And so we all very carefully got out of the car together with our DSs to not get out of range,
so
that we could get to the restaurant. And then I think something else went wrong anyway. So
the game died because it lost communication somehow. And it was all right, well, whatever.
Or when we were playing Split Fiction. I mean, I was pretty proud of us. There was a couple of sections there where it was really okay, I'm going, jump, make the thing, go, jump, make the thing. I mean, sometimes It was jump, make. That was me. Sorry.
When we had that.
But there was a few sections where I think we were like really grooving.
We were really grooving. There were definitely early on in the game. There was that thing of like that thing in front of me to like, I can't. What are you talking about? Yeah. Or you should just grab that thing. Great. Where is it? And like because I remember you said point at that thing, and I looked at your screen to try to see where it was, and I was like, oh, he must mean this thing, and you meant this other thing that was actually above it.
Right. Anyway. But yeah, the idea, I'm always as you know, somebody obviously plays a lot of video games, and we do, and I'm always interested in the idea of sort of video game things that you learn in video games or skills that are developed in video games kind of being used in other aspects of life or having other implications.
Yeah.
I find that always very fascinating. But.
I'm glad as adults we've developed that interest set as opposed to when we were kids just trying to find ways to play video games to write essays that we had to do for school under the guise that somehow this was useful. But it was more just a ploy to try to play more video games and say we were doing homework.
I'm just surprised.
I feel like I never really got into that. That's a good call.
I'm surprised that
I was never that crafty.
This didn't come up as like a plot point in Ted Lasso or something.
I could definitely see that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like just a thing of like finding a hook to like, and video games being a hook for some of the
Ted passing out Game Boys to everybody.
Yeah,
and being
just being like,
we're all gonna play Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, I mean, the whole idea. I thought it was really like it was cool of the idea of like I'm gonna give everybody a novel that I think they're gonna really plug into. I thought was a cool idea, but I'm like, you were treating everybody as their own person, which is great, but then if there was like a more organic thing of I got a whole bunch of PlayStation Vitas for the team, and you know here's a bunch of games for you guys, you can all play these together if you want to, and then watching like you know who would come together on that and who would want to be apart from it and things. It's like okay, that gives me an idea of who wants to work together with each other and who doesn't. I can totally imagine in Ted Lasso like. You know, they sort of introduced that, and then like several episodes later, there's like a big locker room argument about which is the best Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah. It would be fun to see Ted get like sucked into a game because he does seem like the type who probably would just be like, I know my kid plays those, but
he'd probably find his way into that and really enjoy it, and then realize, oh, it's taking all my time.
Anyway, that's all the. That's all the stories that I thought were interesting to talk about this week. Did you guess which the ones that actually made it into the episode ChillPoint? Write your guesses down now before the actual episode comes out.
Yeah, put it in your comments here on Twitch. We think it's these.
Well.
Oh yeah, they do play Smash and Mario Kart. That's fair. Okay.
But
on Ted Lasso, yeah.
Anyway. Thanks everybody for joining us. Remember, you can support us over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or you can be a subscriber here on Twitch, or you can be a member on YouTube. And if you become a member of our LRRVG YouTube channel, you'll get into the credits of the ChillPoint episode. But until we next see you.
Yep. Thanks. Time to go and play Silksong. No way, I
Thanks
have to go edit ChillPoint. Time
to play Silksong with one hand and Hades 2 with the other hand.
Oh yeah.
You got it. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot of scary things coming out.
Yeah. Hades 2 can wait a little bit.
It's gonna have to for me.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to everybody later.